Move over, Mr. Krabs. Someone else makes cartoon greed look like child's play. If Mr. Krabs, Gordon Gekko, and Jeff Bezos all had a love child, obsessed with cash, it would be Elizabeth Holmes, the woman who built a $9 billion empire on obsession, ambition, and lies. Picture this: kids on the floor, toys everywhere, arguing over Mario Kart, controllers flying, laughter, screams, classic chaos. In the corner, a young woman sits alone, not playing, not laughing. She's staring at spreadsheets, whispering numbers to herself, calculating, daydreaming about money, drooling. This wasn't ambition, this was obsession, the pure, unrelenting love of money. Elizabeth Ann Holmes, born February 3, 1984, in Washington, D.C., a family where legacy meant everything. Her father worked for Enron. Before its collapse, then government roles, her mother worked on Capitol Hill. Ambition wasn't optional, it was expected. Her paternal line included Charles Louis Fleischmann, the yeast magnate. Wealth and influence seemed to flow in her DNA. By high school in Houston, Holmes was exceptional, learning Mandarin, coding, dabbling in entrepreneurship, selling C++ compilers to Chinese universities, while peers planned prom. Laser focus, a methodical mind, obsession over play, futures over games. At Stanford University, she studied chemical engineering, but her mind was elsewhere. Driven by an ambition that outpaced her coursework, she was already thinking about changing the world, not just passing exams. During a summer internship at the Genome Institute of Singapore, while the world was in the throes of the SARS outbreak, Holmes noticed glaring inefficiencies in blood testing. Blood draws were slow, centralized, and expensive, requiring large vials of blood and days of waiting. She dreamed of a single-drop instant result revolution. A few drops of blood, hundreds of tests, instant results. It was a vision that bordered on science fiction, ignoring the fundamental constraints of microfluidics and chemistry. By 2003, she filed a patent for a wearable diagnostic and drug delivery patch, an early glimpse into her grand ambition. By 2004, she dropped out, using her tuition money as seed funding for her new venture. Her startup, initially called Real-Time Cures, soon became Theranos, a blend of therapy and diagnosis. She had a powerful vision and, more importantly, the charisma to make people believe it was already a reality. Holmes didn't just want investors, she wanted the world's attention. To achieve this, she crafted a powerful board of political heavyweights: Henry Kissinger, George Shultz, James Mattis, and Betsy DeVos. Their presence lent an air of unimpeachable credibility, silencing early doubts. Convinced by the vision and the star-studded board, Silicon Valley poured hundreds of millions into Theranos. By 2015, it was valued at an astonishing $9 billion. Holmes fully inhabited her persona, adopting the black turtleneck, a deep voice, and an unwavering image of certainty. But behind the charisma, Theranos was a pressure cooker. Holmes and her COO, Sunny Balwani, cultivated a toxic culture of fear and secrecy. Scientists who questioned the technology's viability were marginalized, intimidated, or fired. Whistleblowers faced aggressive legal threats. NDAs were wielded as weapons. Hesitant partners were pressured, their concerns dismissed with a mix of charm and intimidation. Yet, the deals kept coming. Walgreens launched in-store blood collection centers, a massive vote of confidence. The Cleveland Clinic and Capital Blue Cross signed agreements. Partnerships with major insurers expanded the company's reach. All of this was built on a foundation of lies. The Edison devices, the very core of Theranos technology, consistently and catastrophically failed. When the machines don't work, despite repeated failures, Holmes remained outwardly confident. Edison machines were inaccurate. Tests ran incorrectly. What did she do? She secretly ran samples on commercial machines, adjusted protocols, curated investor demos, and manipulated validation data, a flawless facade over a house of cards. By 2015, things began to unravel. John Carreyrou of the Wall Street Journal, tipped by a medical expert, started digging. Documents and whistleblowers revealed the truth. Edison devices were unreliable. Tests ran on third-party machines, and investors and patients were misled. Holmes fought back, but the story couldn't be contained. Regulators swooped in. CMS found serious lab violations. FDA halted core devices. Walgreens closed collection centers. Lawsuits and SEC charges mounted. In 2018, Holmes and Balwani were charged with defrauding investors of $700 million. Holmes settled, paid a fine, and gave up control as criminal probes continued. The dramatic 2021 trial laid everything bare, revealing a pattern of faked demos and deliberately falsified reports sent to investors. After months of testimony, Elizabeth Holmes was convicted on 4 counts of investor fraud, a stunning verdict for the once celebrated CEO. Holmes testified that she was misled and controlled by Balwani. Allegations of abuse were scrutinized, which he denied. On January 3, 2022, Holmes was convicted of 4 counts of investive fraud and acquitted of defrauding patients. She received a sentence of over 11 years in federal prison. Balwani got longer. Together they owed $452 million in restitution. Holmes began her sentence in May 2023. The human side Holmes' story is more than fraud. Her decade-long romance with Balwani overlapped with Theranos' rise. After the collapse, she married William Billy Evans and had 2 children. Interviews revealed ambition, trauma, and public disgrace. Holmes' empire, the blood unicorn, reminds the world that charisma and ambition, contempered by honesty, can produce spectacular rise and catastrophic fall. She didn't start with a lie, she started with belief. She built a myth, a legend, and ultimately a cautionary tale. Theranos didn't transform healthcare, but it exposed the dangers of a world where narrative trumps evidence, confidence substitutes for truths, and obsession for money overrides its integrity. Investors ignored warning signs, media amplified the hype, culture rewarded vision over proof. And so, in a way, Elizabeth Holmes' story is bigger than Theranos. It's a warning. Brilliance without ethics can be expensive in money, lives, and trusts. Turns out you can fake it, but not forever. $9 billion later, the illusion collapsed. So what do you think? Was she a misunderstood genius or the architect of the biggest scam of all time? Drop your thoughts below. Don't forget to hit that like button and follow Dark Observer for more exciting covers.